People often go to great lengths to avoid confronting their inner truth.
What if the life you're living isn't yours? What if your thoughts, your desires, even your suffering were programmed? Carl Jung didn't just study the mind, he warned us, not about politics, not about technology, but about something far more dangerous, the unconscious domination of the human soul by the very civilization it created. We are born into a world that teaches us to look outward. We are raised to conform, to achieve, to consume, but never to question. We live in cities, buzzing with artificial light, with feeds filled with artificial lives. And yet inside something ancient aches. A shadow stirs in the silence between distractions. Jung called it the undiscovered self, the part of us that modern life buries beneath layers of roles, expectations, and illusions. Most people don't live. They perform. They curate personalities. They mimic opinions. They wear masks so long they forget the shape of their own face. This is not living. This is spiritual anesthesia. And Jung warned, the more we ignore the unconscious, the louder it fights back. Through anxiety, addiction, depression, rage, numbness, symptoms not of weakness but of repression, the real war isn't out there, it's in here. Body, energy, instinctual bodies were designed for forests, not screens. For firelight, not fluorescent cubicles. For presence, not performance. Modern life hijacks our nervous systems. We scroll endlessly, hunt dopamine, and mistake noise for nourishment. The body's intelligence is drowned in overstimulation, and when instinct is ignored, it turns against us. Our energy fragments. Fatigue becomes default, desire becomes compulsion. Jung believed our bodies are vessels for archetypes, symbols of ancient forces encoded in flesh. When we abandon ritual, silence, movement, breath, we forget how to feel. And when we forget how to feel, we forget how to be human. Mind, psychology. The shadow Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. What are you running from? What emotion do you constantly suppress? What story about yourself have you accepted without questioning? The mind is not the enemy, but when untamed it becomes a prison. The ego clings to control. It builds a false self to survive in a world that rewards masks. But every repressed desire, every unacknowledged fear, every hidden wound, they don't disappear. They become the shadow. And the shadow does not die quietly. It leaks into relationships, into addictions, into self-sabotage. Jung didn't fear darkness. He believed confronting it was the only path to integration. Your demons aren't here to destroy you. They're here to be understood. Spirit, mysticism, philosophy. Every ancient tradition spoke of this split within us. The Gnostics called it the Archon. The Buddhists called it Mara. The Christians called it the temptation of the flesh. It is the voice that pulls us from presence, that whispers, "You are not enough." That feeds the illusion of separation. But mystics knew, the soul remembers. And when you turn inward, you hear a different voice, not loud, not urgent, but still. Jung understood this. He studied dreams not as nonsense, but as maps. He saw symbols not as decoration, but as divine language. The mandala, the serpent, the cross the tree. These weren't just religious icons, they were mirrors of a psyche trying to remember itself. Jung was not just a psychologist, he was a modern mystic, and his warning was clear. A world that loses its symbols, loses its soul. But this is not a message of despair. This is an invitation to remember, to reclaim, to reintegrate what was lost. You are not broken, you are divided. The energy you waste hiding your truth could build a new life. The attention you scatter in fear could become focus, presence, creation. Jung said, in each of us there is another whom we do not know. That stranger within you holds your power, your passion, your peace. Shadow work is not self-help, it's self-resurrection. It means holding the mirror, not looking away. It means choosing truth over comfort. It means dying to the mask so the soul can breathe. And when you do this, you stop reacting, you start creating, you stop blaming, you begin becoming. Let this be your mantra. Scattered energy becomes craving. Focused energy becomes power. There is a silence beneath your thoughts, a presence beneath your performance, a truth beneath your trauma, and that is who you are. You are not your pain. You are the awareness witnessing it. You are not your story. You are the author, the page, the ink Jung once wrote, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. This world will keep seducing you with noise, but the real revolution is inner. Return to stillness, to solitude, to the sacred. Meditate, journal, breathe, walk in the woods, talk to the stranger within you. Ask it what it needs and listen. In that silence, something ancient will answer, not in words, but in knowing. So I ask you, will you keep running from your shadow, or will you turn toward it and become whole? Let me know in the comments. What truth are you finally ready to face?